The morning air at Arlington National Cemetery was still, the kind of stillness that felt sacred, untouched, unbroken, eternal. Until suddenly, a dog barked. Not a casual bark, not playful, but sharp, urgent. Staff Sergeant Owen Carter, a Tombard known for his unshakable presence, snapped his head toward the sound. Dogs weren't allowed near the tomb of the unknown soldier during ceremonies, ever. Yet there he was, a black lab, tail stiff, body rigid, staring directly at a flag-draped casket awaiting burial. The funeral procession halted. Families turned, soldiers stiffened. No one moved. The dog barked again, this time louder, and pulled against the leash of the veteran trying desperately to hold him back. The dog wasn't looking at anyone. He wasn't reacting to noise. His eyes were locked on the casket. Owen felt something in his gut, something he couldn't explain, because the lab wasn't just barking. He was trying to get to the casket. The funeral officer stepped forward. "Sir, please remove the dog from the premises." But the veteran holding the leash, a frail man with trembling hands, shook his head. "I can't. He won't leave." The dog dragged him forward, claws scraping the pavement, barking wildly now, desperate, panicked. Owen approached cautiously. "Sir, is this your service dog?" "Yes," he whispered. "His name is Shadow. He served with the soldier inside that casket." Owen froze. The soldier being buried that morning was Sergeant Liam Brooks, a combat engineer killed overseas. Shadow suddenly stopped barking. His ears twitched. He whimpered, a long, mournful sound, then laid down in front of the casket, placing both paws gently against the wood. The crowd went silent. A tomb guard doesn't break discipline, but Owen felt a pulse of emotion he wasn't trained to handle. Something was wrong. Something was calling that dog to the casket. The honor guard stepped forward to lift the casket for the burial. As soon as they touched it, Shadow shot to his feet and barked violently. The soldiers flinched. The audience gasped. And then, it happened. The casket shifted. Just slightly, an inch, maybe two, but unmistakably. Owen saw it. The pallbearers felt it. One whispered, "What was that?" Shadow barked again, not in fear, but in recognition. He pawed hard at the casket, whining, crying, frantic. The funeral director stammered. "It must be the stand. The platform must be uneven." But Owen wasn't convinced. He'd seen thousands of burials. Nothing like this had ever happened. Shadow kept pawing, then, suddenly, pressed his ear against the wood and froze. His tail started wagging. Fast. Owen's heart dropped. There was only one explanation, one that seemed impossible. "Open the casket," Owen said quietly. The funeral staff stared at him. "That's out of procedure," an officer objected. "Do it," Owen ordered. His voice shook. "Now." They unlatched the casket. Everyone held their breath. When the lid lifted, the world seemed to stop. Sergeant Liam Brooks was alive. Barely, his breathing shallow, his skin pale, but unmistakably alive. Gasps rippled across the funeral crowd. Shadow barked and leaped into the casket, licking Liam's face, whining with joy. Doctors rushed in. Paramedics stormed the grounds. Owen stepped back, trembling. He had seen death. He had stood guard over it. He knew what it looked like. But this was something else entirely. Later, doctors explained Liam been in an extraordinarily rare, deep hypothermic coma, triggered by battlefield trauma. All signs had pointed to death. Every test had failed to detect faint brain activity. But Shadow had sensed what machines could not. His soldier was still alive. Liam was rushed to the hospital. Shadow rode with him, refusing to leave his side. Days passed, then weeks, until finally, Liam opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was the black lab resting beside him. Shadow thumped his tail and nuzzled him gently. Liam whispered, barely audible, "You always find me, don't you, boy?" News of the miracle at Arlington spread everywhere, but Owen kept a detail to himself. He would never forget the moment after the casket was opened. Shadow had looked at him just for a second, as if thanking him. Months later, when Liam returned to Arlington to place flowers at the tomb of the unknown soldier, Owen stood watch once more. As the ceremony ended, Shadow walked up to Owen, sat at his boots, and looked up with calm, loyal eyes. Owen smiled. "You saved him. You knew." Shadow wagged his tail and pressed his head gently against Owen's leg. And in that quiet moment, Owen understood something profound. Some miracles don't shout, they bark. And sometimes, the bravest soldier in the story is the one walking on four legs.